handsome, and basically the reason that we're all here tonight. And that, of course, is me. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Thanks, boys. Thank you. So Chipper is basically giving you the rundown and growing up in, we'll call them the good old days, because that's what it was to him. But I'm here to give you the more sort of contemporary portrayal of Upper as the washed up old man that he is today. So I've been around for 19 years now, actually, with Upper, so I've obviously got a pretty good idea of him as a character. So one thing you might not actually know about Upper is that even though he might seem to be quite relaxed and sort of nonchalant, he's actually a really, really stubborn person. So just for a bit of context with this story up here. My room is like outside the study area of our house. So normally I'll just chuck my AirPods in because if Upper and I'm working, I don't want to hear them blabbering away, you know? So anyways, maybe a couple of weeks ago now, Upper and Amma were in the study area trying to sort some stuff out for the party tonight. And I believe the topic of conversation was the cake. Which, you know, typical, at a birthday party, you have the cake and you cut it. Pretty sort of stock standard stuff, you know what I mean? So I've got my AirPods in, max volume, doing some uni work, something like, and I hear Upper yelling out at the top of his lungs, "Chumma Vernum Verna." At the time I was kind of like, okay, what are these on about? But I found out later on, Upper was so against being the center of attention and not wanting to be in front of everyone that he basically refused to have the bit where you cut the cake in front of everyone. And, you know, like, I kind of get it, but it doesn't really make sense because if you hate being the center of attention, why would you invite 300 people to your birthday? And the funny thing for me afterwards was when I was in the car with Upper and we're talking about the party, he looks at me and he says, "Oh, Praveen, your mum is such a difficult person to deal with, isn't she?" And I have to be like, "Oh yeah, 100%, I'm not so outrageous." But nah, moving on, I guess. Upper's also been a real kind of source of inspiration for me. So if you don't know, I'm doing law at uni at the minute. I just finished my first year, and people sometimes ask me, "Oh, how come you do law? Why did you do law?" That sort of thing. Because, you know, neither of my parents are lawyers or anything. I don't really know anyone in the legal industry. And to be honest with you, I didn't really know the answer to that question. But I'm sort of thinking now, maybe I chose it because I've had Upper as my lawyer for the past 19 years. So hear me out on this one. Hang on. So earlier this year, I got my P plates, which basically means, you know, I can come and go home as much as I please. And you know, like that, most people my age, I enjoy going out with the boys, hanging out with my friends and stuff. And obviously that involves a few nights out with the boys. And yeah, we hang out and stuff, but it also means that I get home quite late at night and very early in the morning. And I hate our doorbell because when you open the front door, our doorbell has an AI voice attached to it that goes like motion detected at the front door. So most of the time I come home at 5, 6, 7 a.m. in the morning and I'm waking everybody up. And it's always worse when Umma's awake, ready for work, because it's the whole interrogation sequence where she's like, "Why are you home so late? Who are you with? Did you sleep?" Papa always clutches up for me, because he'll be like, "Verna, it's okay." And he'll bring me over and he'll be like, "Rasa, you can come home as late as you want, just let me know. And make sure you buy a coffee on the way home so you're not sleepy." I'm very grateful for Upper's leniency and that sort of thing, and keeping me out of trouble. So another time, this was quite a long time ago, I'm a good kid now, but I got in a bit of trouble at school for doing some dumb stuff, goofing around a little, and I was going to get punished with a detention or something like that. Anyways, that actually never ended up happening, and I was sort of confused like, oh, why haven't I been punished yet? But then one day Upper comes home with me, picks me up from school, and he tells me he's gotten the call from the teacher who I was in trouble with. And he tells me dead-faced, looks me straight in the eyes, and he's like, "I gave her a damn blast." And to this day, I have no idea what that actually means. But I remember going into class next day, and that teacher kind of gave me a funny sort of look. But I didn't end up getting in trouble. I had no detention, no anything. So credit to Upper there. Thank you for bailing me out somehow. But on the real, if you know me, I'm not really one for the sappy sort of stuff. But I can't really understand how much of an impact Upper's had in my life. It's very comforting to know that no matter what I do, how much I stuff up, I'll always have Upper in my corner. So in the Bible, there's actually a parable about a son who leaves his home all cocky and sort of arrogant, but basically wastes away his entire inheritance that he gets from his family. So he eventually ends up working as a pig farmer. But obviously that's like dire conditions, and he decides it's better to return home, beg his father for forgiveness so he can work as a servant. But in Luke chapter 15, verse 20, it says, "But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him, ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him." And verse 31 says, "My son," the father said, "you are always with me, and everything I have is yours." So that pretty eloquently sums up how it is with Appa. No matter what I do or whatever happens, he's always ready to welcome me home with open arms. But now you only get one dad in your life, and I think I pretty much lucked out with mine. People say we sort of look alike too. To that I say maybe if it was 20 kilos lighter. But nah, happy birthday, Appa, and here's the 50 more. Thank you. All right, that was a great